Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue. You were saying something about best intentions?
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies that should have been made.
You have lovely friends.
My best friends. I'd give my life for them.
For this list, we're looking at movies that were never made for various reasons, but ones that sound incredibly enticing. Which of these movies do you wish you could have seen? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Superman Lives. After Batman Returns, director Tim Burton signed on to reboot DC's other most popular hero.
Sir, shall we change the channel to a program with some dignity and class? A love connection, perhaps?
Superman Lives, written by self-proclaimed comic nerd Kevin Smith, would have focused on Supe in conflict with Brainiac. The villain would have sent Doomsday after the hero while simultaneously blocking out the sun to make him weaker. Nicolas Cage was on as Superman, Chris Rock as Jimmy Olsen, and Christopher Walken was Burton's ideal Brainiac.
Santa Claus? Afraid not. I'm just a poor schmo. Got lucky. And sue me if I want to give some back.
However, as we've now grown used to with superhero movies, creative differences would be its downfall. Smith's script had many elements rewritten, and Burton clashed with producer John Peters before leaving to direct Sleepy Hollow. The project would then fizzle out, but not before Warner Brothers reportedly spent $30 million on it.
It might not have been the comic book Superman or the television Superman or Dick Donner's Superman, but Tim Burton's Superman would have been something quite unique.
Number 9. Frankenstein. We've seen plenty of adaptations of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein over the years, though some are better than others.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! Oh, in the name of God! Now I know what it feels like to be God!
Sadly, this sounds like it would have been one of the better. David Cronenberg of The Fly and Scanners wanted to adapt the iconic tale in the 80s at the height of his work in body horror. That matchup is enough to make us sigh in disappointment that it never got off the ground. But Cronenberg also would have stuck close to the source material, having the creature be more intelligent than the monster most audiences know him as.
Sit down. Go and sit down.
The film never made it far into production, and it's still unclear why it fell apart, but it could have been one of the director's best. Number 8. Gigantic.
Anything you need, I got it. All your favorite movies. I got movies that haven't even been released yet.
It isn't often that Disney reveals an upcoming animated feature and then cancels it.
Oh boy.
This is awkward. Not you're awkward, but just because I'm awkward. You're gorgeous. Wait, what?
But that's unfortunately what happened to Gigantic. Revealed at the D23 Expo in 2015, the film would have been a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk. In this version, Jack would have discovered the land of giants and befriended the 60-foot-tall Inma, aiding her against the antagonistic storm giants. There was a lot of creative talent attached, including Nathan Greno, director of Tangled, and Meg LaFauve, writer of Inside Out, as co-directors.
Now, I'm only picking up bits and pieces, of course. Overprotective mother, forbidden road trip. I mean, this is serious stuff. But let me ease your conscience. This is part of growing up. A little rebellion, a little adventure, that's good. Healthy even.
With the same songwriters behind Frozen, it should have been another slam dunk for Disney. But it was canceled in 2017 with only creative differences given as an explanation.
Oh, Anna. If only there was someone out there who loved you.
Number 7. Justice League Mortal. With the way the team's first big screen adventure turned out, we can't help but yearn for this canceled project.
What's the best thing about planet Earth?
George Miller, the mind behind the Mad Max series, signed on to direct a Justice League movie in 2007.
I can't wait for them to see it.
See? Say what?
Home. The green place.
But if you came from the West, you passed it.
At the time, Warner Brothers and DC planned to have it begin their shared universe. The cast was complete with Adam Brody as the Flash, Armie Hammer as Batman, and Common as Green Lantern, among many others. But a number of events led to its cancellation, including the 2007 writer's strike. After multiple delays caused by production issues in Australia, Warner Brothers decided to shelve the project. Instead, it would focus on solo films beginning with 2011's Green Lantern. We all know how that turned out.
The human. Ain't never seen one before. You smell funny.
Number 6. Halo. A live-action Halo TV series is coming in 2022, but there's a lot about its canceled film adaptation that sounded promising. The project was in development at Columbia Pictures in the mid-2000s.
Now, to everyone's surprise, the ship didn't come to a stopover at Manhattan or Washington or Chicago, but instead coasted to a halt directly over the city of Johannesburg.
Alex Garland, one of the best sci-fi film writers working today, wrote the script with Peter Jackson set to produce. Newcomer Neil Blomkamp had signed on to direct.
You hear that? That's a popping sound that you're hearing. It's almost like a popcorn. What the egg does is it pops up. You know, the little guy, what's left of him, pops out there. So that's the sound that you are hearing with the popping.
However, funding issues would be the death of this one. Universal and Fox, which were co-handling the financing, backed out of the project.
You have to make it. Don't make me go through all of this and not make it. You understand?
At least this one has a happy ending, as Blomkamp and Jackson repurposed sets and props to use in District 9. And Blomkamp would still get to direct something Halo-related with the Landfall short in 2007. Number 5. Spider-Man 4. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films didn't exactly end on the strongest note, but for all we know, they could have.
Like yesterday, they kept screaming, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I don't know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm just a nerdy kid from Queens. Do I deserve this?
Raimi initially signed on for a 4th entry before the franchise was rebooted with Andrew Garfield, and he had plenty of plans for the villains. Dr. Kurt Connors, played by Dylan Baker in previous movies, would have made his transformation into the Lizard. John Malkovich was set to play the Vulture, while Anne Hathaway was attached as the Black Cat. Additionally, Bruce Campbell would have cameoed as Mysterio.
Ah, here we are. Table for 2. Becker.
Parker.
That is what I said. Becker.
All that remains of this version is concept art. Creative differences between Raimi and Sony would cause the director to leave, and the studio decided to start fresh.
I'm not ready.
But what happened? You seem so sure.
Number 4. A Confederacy of Dunces. An adaptation of John Kennedy Toole's beloved novel has been attempted many times. In 1982, Harold Ramis was set to direct John Belushi in the lead role before Belushi passed.
I'm a zit. Get it?
John Candy and Chris Farley were later considered before their untimely passings. Later, John Waters wanted to direct Divine before that star passed.
You sure are dressed up, Babs. You look real pretty.
Oh, thank you, Cotton. Why, a girl can never tell who she might run into when she's downtown. Why, I'm all dressed up and ready to fall in love.
That's enough to declare the project cursed, but it doesn't stop there. Steven Soderbergh co-wrote an adaptation for director David Gordon Green in 2005, which had a stellar cast, including Will Ferrell, Jesse Eisenberg, Lily Tomlin, Paul Rudd, and Rosie Perez.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
Multiple elements killed this version, including the devastation left by Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, where the story is set. It seems like this one was never meant to be. Number 3. Double V Vega. We've loved pretty much every Quentin Tarantino feature, but one project that would have blended two of his best sadly never came to life.
All right, well, you can walk into a movie theater in Amsterdam and buy a beer. And I don't mean just like a little paper cup, I'm talking about a glass of beer. And in Paris, you can buy a beer in McDonald's.
Tarantino has often spoken about how he wished to create a prequel for Vincent and Vic Vega, John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, and Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs, respectively.
Vic, how would you feel about pulling a job with about 5 other guys?
I'd feel great about it.
It would have followed Vincent's time in Amsterdam with his brother visiting him, but Tarantino never got around to making it, with the fates of both brothers ensuring that it would have to be a prequel. And with both actors aging so much, the writer-director would have had to follow through a long time ago. But at least we've still got two groundbreaking films to enjoy.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Number 2, BioShock. Video game movies are usually a bad idea, although this one could have broken the mold.
A man has a choice. I chose the impossible.
In 2008, Take-Two Interactive partnered with Universal to produce a BioShock adaptation from director Gore Verbinski.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
While Verbinski would later scale back his involvement, instead becoming a producer, he fought hard to do the game justice. He pushed for a hard R rating and a hefty budget of $200 million, given the extravagant Rapture. However, with Watchmen's release as a big-budget R-rated movie that didn't make enough money, this was an extremely hard sell.
Me, I'm dishonest. And a dishonest man you can always trust to be dishonest. Honestly. It's the honest ones you want to watch out for.
Verbinski refused to budge, so Universal removed him from the project. The entire project would fall apart soon after, with game director Ken Levine believing a respectful adaptation impossible at the time.
You have lots of time.
So you know when I'm going to die?
No, no one does. But I know you don't have to worry about it.
Before we unveil our top pick, there are a few honorable mentions. Alexander the Great, a Leonardo DiCaprio, Baz Luhrmann project that died with the release of Oliver Stone's biopic.
But if we are superior to the Persians, as you say, why do we not rule them? It has always been our Greek dream to go east.
The East has a way of swallowing men and their dreams.
True Lies 2. Real-world tragedy caused James Cameron to rethink a movie, making light of the subject.
Hi, guys.
Oh, yeah, that worked good. Right out the old front gate.
Can you lean back a second? Let's go. We can still make our flight.
Tron 3. We'll believe it's coming when we see it.
Sam. Long time. You have no idea.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. David Fincher's adaptation with Disney was a casualty of corporate culture.
I understand that your destination is the Orient and that you've been delayed. What would you say if we could get you there, but by a roundabout route, a cruise of 3 or 4 months through the South Seas? Would you accept?
Well, I would be interested, yes, naturally.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Napoleon. We weep at the fact that one of Stanley Kubrick's unmade projects could have been another masterpiece.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Following the release of 2001: A Space Odyssey, Kubrick fully threw himself into Napoleon Bonaparte's life. He did excessive research, keeping cataloged note cards and reading any books he could get his hands on.
We are all, by any practical definition of the words, foolproof and incapable of error.
He knew exactly where he wanted to film and had a screenplay ready to go. However, the costs of doing Napoleon's life and battles justice were just too high, though the financial failure of Waterloo also hurt it.
I sent to the Emperor of Russia for peace. He refused me. What can we do?
His Unmade movie has been the subject of books, stage play, and even a mini-series in development that will hopefully be a decent consolation prize.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.